So there are a lot of people looking to shut her down and shut her up, but I'm not one of them. I absolutely love her. I'm very, very fond of her. And when you listen to her speak, because she speaks the truth and she speaks from her heart, and you would really enjoy it. Okay? So Katie, come on up here.
Your eardrum right now, don't I? Now we have the microphone that you like. You're happy with this? There's nearly a microphone standoff that went on. It all got a little bit nasty there. Thank you so much for coming and for taking the time to come. I never underestimate the level of things you have going on in your life. There are many other things that you could be doing. There's many other ways you could be spending your time. You could be on your sofa right now in your pajamas, watching trashy telly. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? And instead you're here. So I have to make it worth your while, but I really respect that you've taken the time to bother to come. And I can't tell you, it means really very much to people like me that there are so many of us out there. And I think one of the lovely things about coming to events like this is that you realise you're not on your own. Because what you're all doing, in your own way, it can be very lonely. It can be really isolating. You can spend a lot of your life not actually being able to say what you think. Or even spending a lot of your life thinking before you even open your mouth. Now my father always says he wishes I did that a lot more. You just thought before you open your mouth. My mum says, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. And obviously I ignored that advice. I say, if you don't have anything nice to say, come sit next to me. So, but I think overall, you know, spending your life thinking about what you say before you say it, so that you don't offend people, or for many good American families that I know, people who have lost family members actually, because they no longer speak to each other. Or people that now spend Thanksgiving specifically unable to address certain matters because they can't and don't wish to fall out with their family because it hurts our hearts. And I think that's what the left have managed to achieve. The left have managed to achieve driving down hate and division by ripping up patriotic pride, by splitting up the family and saying it doesn't matter anymore. You can have 3 dads, 2 penguins, and a giraffe, and that's a great family unit. And what that does, it drives division into families, and I think that's a great pity, and I think that's what we're all trying to work against. I live, surprisingly, people are always surprised that I've managed to have a husband, which is rude. You know, I've managed to have 2, so I've done pretty well. My first marriage lasted, yes, less than a year, which I'm not proud of at all. I tried to marry myself, and that turns out to be a really bad idea. Although later in life I actually met a lady who went and married herself in Vegas. And I realised, but my new husband, or I call him my current husband just to keep him on his toes. No, he's called Lovely Mark. And people always call him Lovely Mark with a question mark at the end. So it goes, what, you're married to Lovely Mark? Like, that's not believable or possible. And we're lucky to have 3 children, so we have India, that's her name, she's 15. Then we have Poppy, who's 14, she's like me, she's trouble. I will pick her up from the police station before she's 18, that's guaranteed. I was trying to explain to Marie. She said, yes, she's called Poppy. And Marie was like, yeah, but what's her real name? It's like, Poppy, but that's a name. Yes, Marie, that's a name. And then I have little Max. He's 10 years old. Obviously he's the only boy. He's currently sleeping in my spot, in my bed, in my house. And my husband and him kind of like it that way. So I get shoved out really fast. He's called Golden Balls, sorry for the rudeness, because he's obviously the apple of his father's eye. And I have no looking when it comes to him. So that's what happens when you're a mum, I guess. But anyway, my purpose of relaying all of that is not just to talk about my family, but just to say that I'm just a normal mum. And I see it as my first job and the most important job, and the reason I'm in any of this fight, actually, is because of my children. I need to be able to leave my children somewhere. It appears that I can't and won't leave them in the UK, because that place is falling very fast. It's picking up speed. It's almost like we're going down a hill. And you know when you get near the bottom of the hill when you're a kid and you play that game where you roll down? I still do it now. Let's pretend I only did it when I was a kid. We're picking up speed so fast that we're looking for a new place to be. So a lot of my Christian friends, a lot of friends who are of some religion or none, are looking towards Hungary and Poland, because those are two very strong countries, still prepared to defend their Christian culture. Not aggressively so, not in some mad religious zealot kind of way, but they just say, no, we're a Christian culture. No, we won't build a mosque. Yes, we will protect our border. And when Angela Merkel invited all of Syria and Africa to come to our countries, wir schaffen das, she said, we can do this. Yeah, we can do it, but we didn't want to. And Hungary and Poland moved their troops to their border, put barbed wire up, and defended their countries. And so there are two countries now, Hungary and Poland, that remain truly Christian. I was there recently. I was stood on the street, it was late at night, like 9 o'clock at night, I was having a drink with friends. And these little girls went past on their bikes. And you know, they had on like a little tank top thing, cute thing, little shorts. There was like 4 or 5 of them, and I heard their giggles. And I was like, oh, little girls. And I turned around, and then I looked at the time and thought, 9 o'clock? Oh my God, these girls are out on their bikes with just these clothes on at 9 at night in the city. Oh my God. And I was straight there. I was ready to run. I was ready to take out any cars that tried to hurt them. I was ready to defend them against anyone trying to grab at them or spit at them or shout at them for not being covered. And then I remembered I wasn't in London. Because that's the reaction, and that wouldn't happen in London. That couldn't happen in London. You cannot be a little girl in London on your own. That is not going to happen. And I remembered I was in Poland. And then I remembered they're safe. Poland and Hungary are the two safest countries to be a girl or a woman in the whole of Western Europe, because they've done the right thing. And I think that's a brilliant thing. So that's where Christian families are looking to move to. And this documentary that I'll pass to shortly, because I don't want to keep you sat down too long without talking, is a documentary I was given the money to make this documentary by a group inside the EU Parliament, and they're called the ENF, and they're a group with Salvini, Orban, Le Pen, all the good people who are on our team, Team Trump, funded this documentary because they want people to see the truth. They want people to see what it's like to try and be a Christian or a Jewish family in Western Europe. And there is a silent exodus underway. So I'll hand over to the documentary now. And then I thought at the end of the documentary we could ask questions. You can ask me anything I like, and we can have a bit of a chat then. This is 42 minutes long. So my challenge to you is to see if you can manage to watch the whole thing. I'm super hoping it will be interesting all the way through. So, between us and our technical expertise in this room, which I suggest is quite limited, we're going to try and make this documentary work.